How to stop being retarded, simple as. I think a big reason why so many people are retarded is because of the media they consume. Now, viewers on this channel probably have fairly good taste. The boomers who came onto this channel from some of my earlier Broken Britain videos probably don't have good taste at all. So those people can, go back to their ITVX slop, thank you very much. But for the people who've stuck with me, and for the people who are just joining this channel, yeah, you probably all have pretty good taste. But what people out there really don't understand is the media you consume will dictate your life. You will be forced to live out the consequences of your taste. That's a direct quote from Terence McKenna, the man who is consistently always correct all the time. As far as I know, he's been the only person who correctly predicted the future 30 years ago. He predicted that the future would get weirder and that everyone would become introverted and go into their own arse. And that's exactly what's happened. Everyone's disappeared completely up their own rectums. And we have two camps as a result. We've got people who've disappeared up their own rectum and found gold, and people who've disappeared up their own rectum and found poo-poo. So which one are you? These are my based recommendations on the left. Now, some people think that some of these options aren't based, for example, like Harry Potter or Les Miserables, but actually these are based. Like if you go and watch just the movies, you don't have to read the books or the musical theatres, adaptations or whatever they are. If you just watch the movies, they are based. The Harry Potter movies are based. Look into what Dumbledore is saying. It's the wisest shit I've ever seen. I quote Dumbledore all the time because he's fucking correct. I'm not one of these, purple-haired 500-pound bitches who goes to the Harry Potter shop every weekend and splooges her cunt all over the floor. No, I watch the Harry Potter movies for Albus Dumbledore's banging one-liners. I mean, Dumbledore doesn't speak very often, but when he does speak, you fucking listen, because he's speaking the truth. Les Miserables is also another one that you might think is not very good, but actually it is very good. If you watch the movie, it is incredibly good. It is the story of how to be a good man. And I think a lot of men out there really need to learn the lesson in Les Miserables. The lesson of Jean Valjean. Very important lesson to learn. My Little Pony, need I say any more? The Friendship is Magic series is perfect. It is literally a tutorial on how to live your life. Follow that tutorial and you can't go wrong, simple as. Doctor Who, only up until Series 6. The good old days from Series 1 to 6 during the 2000s, those were the peak era. After Series 6, it fell off a cliff and disappeared into its own shit. Hunger Games, once again, you might think that's a cringe option, but I think it's based. And I think it's based because if you look past the silly romance stories that they've got in there, it's actually a really deep story on how humanity can fall so very far into hell. You might think that the Hunger Games is a completely improbable possibility, like that could never happen. Or how could such a ridiculous society like Panem even survive a couple days without collapsing? You'd be surprised. People out there are really fucking retarded. The Hunger Games pretty much depicts what would happen if human beings were just a tiny bit more angry. If people were just a tiny bit more angry, that is exactly the world we would live in. So definitely worth a watch, the entire series from the first movie all the way to the end. Titanic, this one's another classic. How to not be an actual toxic masculinity. Now, the left loves to ban masculinity on a crucifix and claim that it's some kind of big bad, and that it should be immediately replaced with girl communism. But obviously, as we know, that's all a crock of shit. However, there is some truth to what the left say. And the truth in what they say is that was all true 50 years ago. If you go back before 1960, the men were arseholes. Like, the men were fucking arseholes. They would beat women. They would go to war and die for no fucking reason. They'd encourage their children to do the same. They'd beat black people just because why not? They were just fucking arseholes. And the movie Titanic really shows how nature will put you in your fucking place if you don't learn your place. And following on from learning your fucking place, Narnia. Simple as, don't get any better than that. Learning how to praise God, how to praise Aslan, and be in harmony with nature. You don't have to fight nature. You don't have to be this fucking Andrew Tate retard. because you will just end up in the bin. You will end up in the trash where you belong. Follow nature and you can't go wrong. And finally, The Lion King. Classic, simple as, doesn't get any better than that. How to overcome weakness. How to stop being a simp and start being a Chad. And then on the right-hand side, we have all the typical cringe you'd expect. Everything on the right here pretty much speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Don't be like these people on the right. Watch these base Chad works of art and you can't go wrong.